It's 3:30 a.m. We're getting ready to head out of here. We're at truck stop in Belmont, Wisconsin. Only truck stop for miles on this stretch of US 151. Our way to Elwood, Kansas. Just over the river, not far into the state at all, just across the Missouri River from St. Joseph, Missouri, where Michelle, who I introduced you to last month, lives. And it'll be my first time in Kansas and Iowa today, so it should be pretty fun. Those 2 weeks of getting very undesirable loads, so they had me on the Home Depot count. It's been nothing but great loads since I finished my weekend off in Green Bay.
Crossing border, entering Iowa.
Adair, Adams, Alamaki, Apadus, Audubon, Benton, Blackhawk, Boone, Bremer, Buchanan, Buena Vista, Butler, Calhoun, Carroll, Cass, Cedar, Cerro Gordo, Cherokee, Chickasaw, Clark, Quay, Clayton, Clinton, Crawford, Dallas, Davis, Decatur, Delaware, Des Moines, Dickinson, Dubuque, Emmett, Fayette, Floyd, Franklin, Fremont, Greene, Grundy, Guthrie, Hamilton, Hancock, Hardin, Harrison, Henry, Howard, Humboldt, Ida, Iowa, Jackson, Jasper, Jefferson, Johnson, Jones, Keokuk, Cossett, Cleveland, Louisa, Lucas, Lyon, Madison, Mahaska, Marion, Marshall, Mills, Mitchell, Monona, Monroe, Montgomery, Muscatine, O'Brien, Osceola, Page, Palo Alto, Plymouth, Pocahontas, Polk, Potawatomi, Poweshiek, Ringgold, Sac, Scott, Shelby, Sioux, Story, Tama, Taylor, Union, Van Buren, Wapello, Warren, Washington, Wayne, Webster, Winnebago, Winneshiek, Woodbury, Worth, Wright. To my knowledge, Iowa is one of the only states, if not the only state, where people try to visit all 99 counties just for the sake of visiting all 99 counties. I am, of course, referring to presidential candidates who want to travel the entire state because Iowa has the first caucuses in the country every election year.
Speed limit reduced ahead.
Just doesn't seem right the way the system is set up. And ends up giving certain states more of an advantage than others in having influence over the presidential election. Looking at who our nominees are going to be this year, clearly, and how many people on both sides are dissatisfied with both candidates, it's clear that the system needs a major overhaul to continue to serve the country well. But we're probably not going to get any major changes until a catastrophe happens. As long as people who are currently in power remain in power, they're going to maintain the status quo for their own interests. And it will probably, unfortunately, take a catastrophe for any real change to happen. All us normal folk can do about it, that wouldn't really have any effect, is pray. roads don't matter, but it's such an un-American thing to suggest.
Steep downgrade ahead.
Unfortunately, it really does seem to me like our votes are becoming less and less valuable, especially for those of us whose values do not align with the values of either the Democratic or Republican parties.
In a quarter mile, take exit 34, Clay Street, Osceola, and then turn right at 0.5 miles.
Coming up on our fuel stop. You can see that pilot sign up ahead. That's where we're headed. It's been a good morning so far. Just a little bit of traffic in Des Moines. No problems other than that.
In a quarter mile, turn right on West Clay Street, CRH 33, and then approaching destination on the left side in 500 feet.
What I've seen of Iowa so far has been a lot more beautiful than I expected. Thought it would be a lot flatter. Of course, with a very heavy load like this, it's a load of cat or dog food, almost up to gross maximum weight. Those aren't exactly what you want, but it hasn't been too bad.
Approaching destination at 300 feet on the left side.
Fuel here really quickly. 30-minute break.
Have arrived at your destination on the left side. Crossing border, entering Kansas.
Allen, Anderson, Atchison, Harbor, Barton, Bourbon, Brown, Butler, Chase, Chautauqua, Cherokee, Cheyenne, Clark, Clay, Cloud, Coffee, Comanche, Cowley, Crawford, Decatur, Dickinson, Doniphan, Douglas, Edwards,
In
Ellis,
1.5 miles,
Ellsworth,
take KS 238.
Finney, Ford, Franklin, Geary, Gove, Graham, Grant, Gray, Greeley, Greenwood, Hamilton, Harbor, Harvey, Haskell, Hodgman, Jackson, Jefferson, Jewel, Johnson, Kearney, Kingman, Kiowa, Labette, Lane, Leavenworth, Lincoln, Lynn, Logan, Lyon, Marion, Marshall, McPherson, Meade, Miami, Mitchell, Montgomery, Morris, Morton, Namaha, Neosho, Ness, Norton, Osage, Osborne, Ottawa, Perry, Phillips, Potawatomi, Pratt, Rawlings, Reno, Republic, Rice, Riley, Rooks, Rush, Russell, Celine, Scott, Cedric, Seward, Shawnee, Sheridan, Sherman, Smith, Stafford, Stanton,
In a
Stevens,
half
Sumner,
mile, take KS 238, and then turn right at 0.2 miles.
Thomas, Trago, Waubonsie, Wallace, Washington, Wichita, Wilson, Woodson, Wyandotte. That's 105 counties in Kansas. Not sure how long we're
In
going to be there.
0.2
Still
miles,
haven't
take
gotten to my
KS
next load
238,
yet.
and then turn right at 0.2 miles.
This week has just been the best week I've had on the road so far in terms of both mileage and lack of major inconveniences. And of course being able to participate in that video chat with my Ecclesia friends on Wednesday night. After I delivered this afternoon, I made it here to the Loves in St. Joseph, Missouri at 3. So nice and early, no trouble finding a parking spot. been able to park at a full-service truck stop every night this week. Never had any trouble finding a parking spot. Haven't had to do any super difficult backing jobs this week. Can't say the same about many of the nights that I had on the Home Depot account. So I'm very grateful for that. Tomorrow morning I'm picking up a load in Kansas City, Kansas, taking it to Edwardsville, Illinois. Pretty much just a straight shot across I-70 Missouri. And probably be spending tomorrow night at Schneider's Edwardsville terminal. And assuming I do stay there tomorrow night, I'll probably go to Mass at the nearest parish, try to do my grocery shopping somewhere around there. But I won't know that for sure until I get my next load assignment, so we'll see. Divine Providence will take me where I belong. On Tuesday, I left off with my life story. I told you about the stress that I went through as I worried about whether or not I'd get invited back for a second year Spiritus, and how I at first was dreading the possibility of not getting invited back, but then when in fact I didn't get invited back, was able to take it better than I initially thought I would. I was able to stay consistent with my prayer life after that, but I also fell into a bit of a panic mode as I began my job search. I lost the desire to keep giving Spiritus ministry work my best effort for the rest of that year, and I got especially annoyed the few times that I was asked to learn a new retreat session after that day that I was told I wouldn't be coming back for another year, because I knew I'd have to spend precious time planning and memorizing the session instead of working on job applications, and I knew I'd probably only get to present the session once, maybe twice, before the year was over. At that point, I just wanted to know what I'd be doing after Spiritus as soon as possible. Initially, I only applied to 3 jobs for the coming year because I didn't have time to invest in too many interviews at once, and there wasn't much else that I was qualified for and interested in anyway. 2 of the jobs I applied for were college residence hall director positions that didn't require a master's degree, unlike most such positions, and the other was a college campus ministry assistant position. As I said last time, colleges were among the few places I was interested in applying for full-time jobs because I wanted an opportunity for free grad school. Only one of the 3 jobs that I applied for would have offered me that, but all of them would have included free room and board, which was an absolute must if I was going to get a job outside the Philly area that wouldn't allow me to commute from my parents' house. There was no way that I would have even considered renting an apartment until I was on much more certain financial footing. So I went through the application process for those 3 jobs, put my best foot forward in all of them, just like I did for co-op, and didn't get any of them. I wasn't surprised not to get the residence hall director positions because I knew I was probably up against far better qualified candidates for them. But not getting the campus ministry job really came as a shock because that position was designed specifically for recent college graduates with minimal experience, and it really seemed like my skill set was exactly what they were looking for. Around that same time, I also wanted to make sure that I had something to do for the summer if I didn't get a job that started in July or earlier. Initially, I was planning to return to the same job that I had the previous 2 summers when I was an RA for one of the many summer learning camp programs for high school students that took place on Drexel's campus. And I had done a fine job the previous 2 summers, but I knew there was a chance I might not get invited back for a 3rd year with them, mainly because I wasn't very social with the rest of the staff, both because of my introversion and the fact that I didn't have many interests in common with them. It also didn't help that I wasn't a former student of that summer program, unlike most of their other staff members. And when they told me they didn't want me back, I knew that I had little to no chance of getting paid to do anything other than menial, low-wage labor that summer. And I knew that if I was going to go home to Philly as soon as the Spiritus year ended in May, I would probably have to get some humiliating low-wage job until I could find a more respectable job. But thanks to my prayers, I wasn't afraid of such a humbling experience. But I questioned whether God wanted me to do that. It was then that I realized maybe God was calling me to make a different kind of sacrifice, which I'll tell you about next time. Till then, please keep me in your prayers, and I'll keep you in mine. God bless.